all the different modifications we've done have all done, 1 or 2 knots or 3 or 4 knots, stuff like that. When I started, I was asking that same question to everybody when I started. And I always remember Lee saying, Andy, it's not one thing, it's 50 things. And I'm like, I know, but there's that one thing that makes it go fast, right? He's like, no, it's 50 things. And he was totally right. So then, we were really confident going into this year. We have a good plane. We got good systems. And then in practice on Sunday, we also had, we came back down on the course and I didn't have both fuel pumps on. And one of the cylinders got lean and we ended up having to change a piston and cylinder that night. So in practice, it was kind of like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? And kind of the settings that we ran out here on the East Coast where it's very humid and and we have to test a little higher from the speed limitations. They didn't quite work at Reno, so we were kind of tweaking our settings in practice and getting it to run right.
We qualified at 388 miles an hour, which was the best speed we'd ever done. And I knew we had more because the engine was kind of running rough and we didn't have the boost turned all the way up, but I just wanted to get a qual speed so I didn't have that stress in case I broke something else of trying to get a qual speed. So I just wanted to get in the show basically. But then Tuesday and Wednesday, we were able to test more and kind of get it dialed in. So we found our really good setup for our Sunday setup. We tested on Wednesday and we did like 300. I did 2 laps, this hand timed at 397. And we were like, oh, so close to 400. Like, that's not meant to be. So close. And we're like, all right, next year we're going to make a whole new wing. We're going to make this thing thin and, all this crazy stuff. But it was, we knew we were close, and the conditions Wednesday morning, it was really cold, and the turbo engines like it when it's hot, get that higher density altitude. So we're like, well, we're close. Let's see what happens. Thursday was probably one of the most exciting races. So we started out second next to Jeff, and coming down the valley of speed, I'm like gaining on him. I'm kind of next to him, and then I'm like, oh, I should probably tell him something. So, race 3930 on your right, and like try not to giggle, like, oh my God, this is actually happening. So, because Jeff he's such a cool guy and amazing pilot, amazing engineer, and he set the bar way up there for so many years. So and I knew it was Thursday, so like nobody's pushing it on Thursday. And, but we got there and we got into lap traffic. And so I stayed wide just to not scare anybody and, really just build that trust of flying with each other. When we're flying that close and that fast, like it's not about scaring somebody or, trying to force anything. So it was good to build that trust on Thursday. We did a missing man for John Parker that night. And so this kind of leads into what happened Friday, but really special send-off for John. He was another air race legend and hero of ours, and really sad to see him fly west this year, but he's always in our memories, and his whole crew that is still there. His crew chief rode with me on the missing man, Mike Cummings. It's really special to have him with us, but we did the missing man, and I ended up getting air in my ADI system. So on the race Friday, we came down the chute, and the intake temp's going up, and it normally comes down once the ADI kicks on. And so I pull the power back and I hit the backup pump so I can change it from an automatic system to a manual system. That's not working either. So it had air in it. So I just pulled the power back and we kind of just cruised around, and Jeff ended up lapping us on Friday. I was like, dang it. So Saturday it was game on. We didn't really change any power settings, but we still had the Sunday power setting we wanted to run, but we wanted to save that. So I was going to start in 6 because we had to go slow on Friday. Coming down the chute, I got a really good start. Got past I think all the Thunder Mustangs and Jim Rust and his glass air. And then I passed Bob Mills coming down the valley of speed and his glass air. And then it was, fangs out, game on. We're going to fly a perfect line. We're going to catch Jeff, and kind of lap 2 had a great line on Jeff coming by the crowd, stacked up really high. And it's really hard to fly this line. Like, you want to do like an echelon turn for the formation people out there, but you got to be like this really high, I don't know how to explain it, but you got to put them like in the wing route when you're flying formation on them. It's uncomfortable because you have to keep them in sight. You don't want to lose sight of them, but you have to fly this perfect line. So it had a really good line coming by home pylon, and then had some altitude on him. When we rolled level between 3 and 4, it just kind of accelerated. And then I kind of lost him behind me. I was like, holy cow, we just passed him. So I landed, and the whole sport class was out there, and everybody's so excited. And Jeff was the first one that came up, and he goes, oh, man, that was awesome. That was the best race. And we were next to each other, and, like, finally I get to race somebody. This is great. So it was kind of that camaraderie that's so exciting about Reno, that I've done a lot of other motorsports that, there's a lot of animosity, but in Reno, it's like everybody's so excited when you accomplish something. And even Jeff, who's been like this in the lead, the champion for so long, he was excited. So the energy was just electric when we were doing this.
Yeah.
The whole class was excited. My dad was there. My wife Jackie was there. It's been a huge part of supporting this, and everybody's pretty emotional. I think there was a few tears shed, like, "Oh my God, we finally did it! We get our first fire truck ride!" And for those that haven't been to Reno, when you win, you get a vintage fire truck ride down the flight line. You get to wave to all the fans and the crews that are out there. So that was probably the most special, to take everybody that's worked so hard to take them for that fire truck ride. It was really cool.
But then knowing that, anything can happen on Sunday. So we turned the boost up on Sunday and decided, all right, we're going to let it all hang out here. So Sunday we turn it all up. We've got everything, all the systems are double checked. We're ready to go. On takeoff, Jeff was having to recycle his gear, so it's one of those little things like, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And so he gets rejoined. We're coming down the chute. We get a great start coming down the chute. I think it's the first time I've actually pulled a whole shot like Jeff. It starts really good. Listening to Mike on the radio saying, all right, you got a 2-second lead, you got a 4-second lead, you got a 6-second lead. Like, okay, we're making progress. It's running good. But then like lap 2 or 3, number 6 starts getting really hot again, and that was the one that had failed the previous Sunday. So it's like, okay, tune it down. Back it off a little bit, back it off, and it still went really fast. And then, that elation of like, okay, we broke 400, like the teamwork, all those late nights in the hangar, the long days, scratching your head. Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And asking for help. And it was just amazing for the whole team, the family. To me, it's just the whole adventure has been incredible. Having that childhood dream to, get an airplane and participate to, okay, all right, we're going to go fast, and now we're going to get lapped. And then, like, the competitive nature came out with me and all my other motorsports. And, like, oh, no, we're not getting lapped. Like, we're going to figure out how to make it go fast. It all came together. So, to have that kind of camaraderie, but I think with the struggle that happened, it wasn't easy to get there. Like, going 350 was pretty easy. Going 400 was incredibly hard, and took an amazing group of people to make it happen.
But there's always more that we want to do, and I think we'll find some more speed in there somewhere.
Right now, John Sharp holds the ultimate lap record of 412. That was measured on a little different course, but we're going to try to go after that. So we had some laps last year that were 408, 409, I think, pace. So I think if the conditions are right, temperature-wise, wind-wise, I think we can try to chase down that 412 from John.
the need for speed never ends. We landed from Reno and everybody's like, okay, it's perfect. I'm like, oh no, we got lots to do. So I've got like a 3-page list of stuff I want to do.